one by one. They have gone. By then you can just share the handouts. We will use the handout later. Chalo, first I will, as per the formality, I'll tell about myself because that is a major thing. Because previous orientation I told entire about sociology, but I did not tell about myself. The student came and asked, "What is your name?" So, okay, chalo. My name is FAZAL. I did my engineering, mechanical, from one of the university very near to us. Okay, and I have worked good number of years. Then I have been associated with AKS from past 5 years. I have been teaching sociology, and I teach also been associated in many GS based subjects. Okay, you all know we have assembled here for learning about the importance of this subject, sociology. Okay, and you might have got at least little idea, if not 100%, that what actually is the subject sociology. And before going into sociology, let me tell you one thing. Optional decides your rank. First important point you should feed here. Optional will decide your rank. That's it. That's final. Optional is for 500 marks. And always remember, before taking an optional, think 10 to 15 times. Sit with yourself, get isolated, and decide which optional you have to take. Don't get influenced by YouTube mainly. Don't get influenced by any of the rankers. Don't get influenced by chaiwalas in and around study halls, friends, roommates, etc. etc. includes everything. It is you who have to study the optional for 1 or 2 years. So it is your capability and your ability to stick with one subject and have a command in that subject and ensure that I have taken this optional, yes, I can do well and I'm going to clear the exam with this optional. That is how you choose an optional, and you have to stand and you have to take the decision and you have to stand irrespective of what people say, etc. Because once you take the optional, you prepare. I have seen so many students, they take 1 or 2 optional, they come back, they say that, sir, I have to change my optional. They come back to me or I go to them, I don't know. But I have seen lot of students trying to change their optional after 1 year, 2 year. Don't do this. You take any optional. But remember, stick to it. Before getting into it, decide, take a final decision, because it is not for 100, 200 marks, it is 500, because I call optional as a ladder. It will throw you in the interview list. If you write very well, it will throw you in the interview list and you'll fall in the interview list, and later is next case what will happen. Next, coming back to my relation with sociology. I have been teaching sociology from quite many years, and we can count n number of ranks from sociology. Last year, if we could see, I think rank 2, 5, 10, 15 or 18, 25. There are so many ranks from sociology. I'll tell you why this trend of sociology is very, very high in this few years. The reason being, people making use of sociology as their optional score massively in mains. That is, their essay and also in their GS. They score massively in this because most of the paper 2 of our Sociology optional gets reflected in general studies and essay. And you may call how much? Because other optionals, do they reflect? Yes, other optionals also reflect. Other optional also has some good space in GS. But this as an optional has a very highest probability. For example, essay, everyone has to write essay. You need to write 2 essays, 250 marks, 125 mark each. Every year, there is one essay from section B is directly reflected from our syllabus. You need not prepare separately for the essay. It's an open challenge because last time they have asked about poverty. Earlier they asked about sustainable goals. Earlier they spoke about inequalities. These are the direct chapters what we have in paper 2. And the students of sociology has got a very good command in writing those essays. They will pick which one is the best. 1 or 2 are from direct sociology. And once I say these words, it is your work to go back, look the previous essays which was asked by UPSC, look the sociology optional and correlate. Next, most important, its ability in GS. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3 and paper 4. Paper 1, Indian society, we don't need to specify it separately because directly Indian society is reflected in your paper 2. We read about family, we read about marriage, we read about caste system. These things need not require highmost technical idea to read. You will come across so many things in your society. For example, family, different types of family. Different types of families we get to see. They are joint families, nuclear families, lineated families, bifurcated families, live-in relation, households. There are so many new things which you get to see in your syllabus. That is reflected in your syllabus of paper 2. That's where he's asking you in Indian society, what are the problems faced by nuclear families? And these questions are like, we do it in a very simplest form, reading in our paper 2. Caste system. Caste system, majority of the caste system, we get to read in the paper 2. In the recent GS paper, if you could see, they have raised a question about caste conflicts. Caste conflict is directly reflected in our syllabus, paper 2. Caste conflicts, Varna system. Who occupies topmost position? Brahmins. Bottommost position in Varna system? Shudras. If we apply common sense, you have answered it. Brahmins occupy the topmost position in the Varna system. If you apply sociology, I'll tell you, Brahmins occupy definitely the topmost position, but within the Brahmins, there are multiple layers. They are Vedic Brahmins, they are Maha-Brahmins, they are the Brahmins which will perform rituals, they are the Brahmins which will perform the birth rituals, death rituals, both are not the same. We have layers among them. So if you say common sense, applying common sense, if I ask you who occupies, then you will say definitely Brahmins occupy the topmost position. If I say apply the sociology, you will read little bit beyond stating that, sir, within this community of Brahmin, we have different layers of the Brahmins. They are superior Brahmins, they are inferior Brahmins. There are some Brahmins which are called as Hussaini Brahmins. Hussaini Brahmins are those Brahmins which we have their lineage in India following the prophetic relations, son-in-law's relation. They are called as Hussaini Brahmins. In GS, people don't read this. And the examiner will catch such kind of words if you use it in and around, etc. And you'll just quote it in the case studies. in an Indian society, in a social justice. Paper 1 of your GS, we have Indian society. Listen to this very carefully. Paper 1 of Indian society, paper 2 of social justice, together we have around 100 to 110 marks. 100 to 110. Earlier it was 40 marks. Earlier it was 50 marks. Then how do you have saying that 40 marks? The number of questions they are asking. The number of questions they are asking, which are directly, indirectly related to Indian society, part of governance and social justice, that has gone up to 110 marks, previous trend. And paper 3, socio-economic development, Indian economic development, mixed economy, capitalism. We get to see these all in the paper 2, that is somewhere around 40 to 50 marks. And the last paper, ethics, the thinkers we have in sociology, the similar thinkers we can use and quote in the case studies or in the ethics. Reflection of sociology in the GS paper is quite high. And that's the reason you look at the toppers and their marks. Especially their marks in the GS subjects compared to others. You compare, they have an edge of 20 to 30 marks extra. And how do they score? They score because the depth they go into, especially sociology paper 2, which is giving them a very greater bounce. Okay, chalo. Next, how about the syllabus of sociology? Syllabus, I think I have given you handout. If you look at the second page or third page in order, in paper 1, we have 10 chapters. In paper 1, we have 10 chapters. Paper 2, we have 3 sections, A, B and C. Every section is divided into different chapters. Section A, Section B and Section C, they are divided into different chapters. Now come back to paper 1. And the first topic of the sociology is itself the discipline or evolution of the subject. I will get into the syllabus later, but let me tell you one thing, because most people ask me, sir, you did not tell me about how many months it will be able to cover. You are from AP and Telangana or any other place? Which place you are from? Karnataka. How many people are from Karnataka? Oh, great. Maharashtra. Okay, great. Chalo. All are from Telangana and AP. Okay, fine. Sure. Done. Now, if we could ask the number of months we could actually try to finish our sociology optional, if you start somewhere around in June, July, August, September, October, on an average it will take 4.5, 5 months. 5 months is what we require to finish the optional, targeting paper 1 and paper 2. 5 months, because I cannot finish it within 5 months. It's not possible for me, because I'll go very slow, because your roommates or your friends of earlier batches would have told you. I will go very slow, and I have a habit of not putting anything like PPT. That's why everything what all you have, I'll put it on the orientation class only. Done. And every topic and subtopic, I'll be giving the class notes, case studies, reports, current aspects, everything there in the class notes. I will show you the list of books what you have to study, but I'll suggest you not to buy any book. No, still I want to buy, because I am going to study hall. I have to put it on my table. People should know that I am reading optional. Then I will tell you one book, Harlambers. Go and buy that. It is somewhere around 4,500. Go and buy that or put it on the table. I'm giving because to disclaimer, don't waste your money unnecessarily in UPSC. Someone guided you to buy this book, don't run. No need. We need to give you a proper notes. Read the notes 5 to 6 times. Update the notes accordingly. It is enough. You don't require to get again some material from the market. Telegram groups are so many. Instagram has become very huge. YouTube. Everywhere you get material. Problem is categorizing them, which is correct and which is wrong, or which is useful or not. Anedi, it is taking your 1 year. It will cost you 1 year. So don't fall into all this. I have an habit of making you write everything in the class, dictating the class notes. I don't give any handouts. No. This is the only handout you will get it in the entire sociology classes. And this is the only PT in the entire classes. No, everything I'll write. Thematic presentation I'll draw. Any sort of aspects of case studies I have to write, I will draw. I will draw everything on the board. That's it. So disclaimer even. Next 4 to 5 months, as I told you, on an average. Every chapter, I'll make you write few answers within the class, or I will give you some work from the class notes. You'll go back home, you'll read, you'll write, and you come back. Once the chapter is done, I have an habit of putting a test. Last batches, people have done very wonderful. I don't know how much energy these guys, we used to have very big strength of sociology. And every student and their seriousness. I mean, like, you can just go back and watch in my Instagram reel. I have posted a lot of students writing test. And they come back. They take suggestions. They improved. And once they go out of the classroom, finishing this 4 to 5 months, it is assured that they wrote something. They read at least once, they walk out. And just remember, that's why you paid here. You did not pay here for time pass. Or intlo edo bore kodutundani cheppi ikkada radaniki, you did not pay for that. You have come here for an ambition. And you have come here to clear this examination within one attempt. My suggestion is to choose the optional as early as possible, whichever it is. And second important, write at least mains in your first attempt. At least it should be a mains in your first attempt. So that in the second attempt, you can improve your mains. That should be a logic. Else if you keep repeating with your prelims, the cycle will go on. You will never come out. You don't know where you are going wrong. Have a proper guidance for the prelims, for the optional, so that it will be helpful for you. Now, look at the chapter number 1. It is talking about sociology, the discipline. What will we read in this chapter is how did the subject sociology got evolved. I will not teach you the subject, but I will tell you one by one, looking at the chapters. Sociology is the youngest discipline among all the disciplines. I mean, could be your physics, chemistry, mathematics, medicine, etc., which has brought many changes in the society. To understand those changes, we have brought sociology. The scientific study of the society is sociology. The changes which are brought in the society due to application of various knowledge and studying those impacts is sociology. It is an evolution of society. It is a growth of society. It is a development of society. What we used to have marriage system earlier, what used to have marriage system now is very different. True? Same marriage. Earlier, marriage used to be for 11 days, 15 days, etc. And everyone used to gather. Wedding card, no? Marriage means wedding card. And it's like at most highest ceremony which has been performed, where with respect You go to each and every house and deliver the wedding cards. You do it now. Take screenshot, WhatsApp, call, date, 11th, 12th. Is it okay also if you come on 12th? Okay, come back on 12th, join, have, leave. So earlier marriages, boy and girl, they never used to make to sit. First parents used to go, have a family talk. Then the boy and the girl used to sit and used to talk. I heard, but now so finally you will go and tell your parents that yes, I am interested, so I wanted to get married. Chalo, done. Okay. Ikkado aginra? No. Second, there are certain kind of marriages which are not even performed. We are happy in European society. We are happy. Why should we get married? We are happy. So why should we get married? So according to them, it is correct. In India, if you don't get married and you're staying with someone, people will not give you house. Your aunt will call. How long will be like this? Not getting married is becoming a biggest sin in Indian society. You cannot go to any event. If you get some achievement also, your great grand uncle will come next. So we have seen all these things, no? So people said like, no, why are you roaming like this? You saw me roaming like that. Why are you roaming like this? Why can't you get married? Why this fellow is roaming? So what is the marriage system has become? Solo marriage. Getting torturous by people, you marry among yourself. They are people don't want to marry others, don't want to understand anyone. You marry the Gujarat, Italy, United Kingdom. Females married among themselves. And you call your mother as mother-in-law sometimes. Mother as sometimes, father-in-law sometimes, father sometimes. Bindas. This is one type of marriage. Which means society will know if I apply common sense, it is a type of marriage. You are happy to get married with yourself. Be happy. Who stops? If you don't want to marry, don't marry. If you want to marry, marry. You have different types of marriage. Marriage in the presence of a priest. Marriage in the absence of priest. And no marriage at all. Sociology and applying sociology and its common sense will teach you so many types of marriages. What we have, family. You don't require any license to have a family. You don't require any license to have a family. Which means what? You don't require any marriage. We are happy. We want to marry like this. Yes, we are marrying and we are very comfortable. So we will get married. Later, when the child asks you, are you married then? We'll see. This is what happens in European societies. And in India, if you come, definitely no. It's very difficult. Destination marriages are one type of marriages which are very much common nowadays. Even those things we'll read in sociology. We read different case studies, different examples. Those candidates who write case studies, they will throw marks. Those candidates who will write examples, recent examples, case studies, so and so type of marriage, case studies, and express your thought, they will throw marks. This is the trend. If you don't write case studies, you will get a moderate marks. If you write case studies, you will get very good score. Question they were asked about live-in relationship. Question they have asked about nucleated families. Question they have asked about having a relationship pre-marriages. For example, you get to see nowadays what you call as destination wedding. There's something like you send a reel to your friends that you are getting married. What is that called? I forgot the word. Pre-wedding shoot. You have pre-wedding shoot, no? Nowadays. Do you used to have earlier? Yeah, pre-wedding woods and they used to hit parents. Nowadays, girl will slowly run like this. The boy will run and the cameraman will come very near. You get to see all these aspects in our society, and is it not getting accepted? Is it not getting accepted? Yes. Now what common sense say? Something which is correct, something which is wrong. What is correct to you might be wrong to me. And what is wrong to me, it may be correct to you. But what sociology says, it will not make any bias. It will say, it will express its thoughts, saying that how society has developed and what is your thought process and my thought process. In entire sociology, we will never discriminate who is right and who is wrong. That is what we will study, how the family system, the marriage system, the culture of the kids, how it has grown. Recently they asked a question about, I've already told in the previous batches, they'll talk about transed husband. Transed husband. Trans husband means what? The husband who is taking all the responsibilities in the family. Having an authority of financial, having an authority of how the work balance should be divided. Trans. And there are many case studies which you get to see in the sociology optional. Remember those and throw it in your GS papers here and there. I'll bet you will get very good score. Scope modernity, which means the first chapter will teach you how society has developed, how society has looked the changes, how the French Revolution brought some changes, how European society has reflected the Indian society, and how did we learn. You know LPG, right? What is LPG? Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Privatization and globalization. What is the definition of globalization? Globalization, single one word. Globalization means India connecting to the world and world is getting connected to India. This is called as globalization. You are having a large scale integration factor, one with another. What impact? Does it bring any impact in the societies? Obviously, yes. There are a lot of cultural aspects. There are a lot of aspects with respect to the caste system, socio-economic. There are so many things which get to change. And if you read anything, the sociology in the scientific perspective, second and third are the one you read in a scientific perspective. That means you will apply some tools, etc. Third and the fourth one. In fact, fourth one is my favorite chapter because it is the heart of sociology. What is fourth chapter? Sociological thinkers. Yes. Sociology. Now listen. Sociology is one subject which we have limited thinkers. Very limited thinkers. Overall, entire sociology, if you take, we have 9 thinkers. Paper 1, 6. Paper 2, 3. Read. They will ask you, go to the exam, put it there and come out. That's it. Here in sociology, with respect to UPSC, you are not here to do any R&D. You know R&D, right? Research and development. Nothing. Read. We all passed 10th class exam, right? The teacher used to give, you read, you go back to school and you write. Here we'll add a few case studies, etc., thinkers' perspective, etc., to develop our answers. Now, Karl Marx. How many of you know Karl Marx? Only one guy. Okay, 2, 3. Good. What's the favorite book of Karl Marx? Book written by Karl Marx? Very good. Das Kapital. Any other book? Same thing. Das Kapital. Communist? Very good. Communist Manifesto. Very good. What is the difference between socialism and communism? Khatam అయిపోయింది. ఓరియంటేషన్లో ఓరియంటేషన్ లాగా ఉండాలి, క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగొద్దు. What is the difference between socialism and communism? What is communism? What is communism? Resources will be under the public. Private property, abolishment. Yes, this is communism. Private property, abolishment is the ultimate concept of communism. This topic where Karl Marx, he talks about historical materialism, mode of production, alienation and class struggle. Very simple topics and you'll actually enjoy. Paper 1 thinkers అయితే you will enjoy. And paper 1 thinkers almost 20 to 25 days చెప్తాను నేను. స్టోరీ లాగా చెప్తా. 20 to 25 days we will spend time with paper 1 thinkers and also paper 2 thinkers. Almost 1 month plus. I'll be teaching you thinkers only. Slowly we will go like a story, and we will be discussing the important cases with respect to the thinker, so that you will have an advantage. Any question, let him ask. Any question, let him try to twist. Let him try to ask in any way. We will be in a position to answer those thinkers. Now, talking about very important and favorite topic of UPSC is class struggle. Define class struggle as per Karl Marx. What is the meaning class struggle? With the tough kadamma, simple words ivanni. What is class struggle? Are you not struggling? Class struggle and struggling in class. Huh? What is class? What is class? A profile of a person based on what? Economic aspect. A profile of a person based on an economic aspect is called as class. Class is based on achievement. Caste is based on ascription. Ascription is nothing but what I have got it from birth. My mother gave me birth. My father gave me birth. The lineage I am continuing, the grandfather, his grandfather, the lineage I am continuing, that will give me the term which is called as caste. Till my death, my caste will not change. What can change is class. I work very hard. They were poor, I'll be rich. There are other categories, they are very rich. This fellow will make you poor if you don't work. So the class will have mobility. It will try to make you shift from one place to other. Class, from birth to death, it is going to remain the same. But there's one thinker who quoted this, negated this, who's called as M.N. Srinivas. What is the concept he gave? One person, anyone? M.N. Srinivas, very famous. School చదువుకుంటారుగా. What's the concept M.N. Srinivas gave? I'll give the term, you can easily analyze. Sanskritization. What is the meaning of Sanskritization? What's the meaning? School చదివి ఉంటారు కదమ్మా, 8th class, 9th class, Sanskritization. What's Sanskritization? Sanskritization means lower profile trying to imitate upper profile. Lower profile people trying to imitate upper profile people, you call it as what? Sanskrit. So tell me, why do you have to imitate? Why do you have to imitate? Exactly. Respect? You're not giving me respect, no? You're not giving me respect because I used to sit down and eat. Commensality used to be practiced. That means you people used to sit together and eat. No. We have hierarchy. First I should eat. First I should eat. If it is something remained, then you sit down and eat. You cannot eat with me. Commensality used to be practiced. Obviously, yes. In India, there's a large scale commensality where you cannot sit with me and eat. You're considered as what? Lowermost profile. How can you sit with me? I will first have food. If something is remain, then I will give it to you. Jajmani system, Dasi system, Badoni system, all these systems started to discriminate people, considering these people to follow the practice of Sanskritization, move away from this society, learn practices from the upper profile, start imitating. What imitating? Food. What the upper caste used to eat, I'll start cooking the same food. What upper caste used to wear, I'll start wearing that. What upper caste used to talk, I will start making that, because I don't want to live that life which started to discriminate me, violate me, my rights. This is called as Sanskritization. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he was never against caste. He was against the caste conflicts. He was against the caste discrimination. We have beautiful topic of caste discrimination, etc. We will talk about Baba Sahib Ambedkar in that. Very beautifully, right from his youngest age to the age of filling up the like constitution. I'll give you entire content about him. Now, if you look at the other thinkers, Immanuel Durkheim, Max Weber, Talcott Parsons, Robert K. Merton, and Mead. If you take one by one thinkers, you have different topics which were discussed against them. It is not like Weber has given this thought. For example, Weber has given this thought of ideal types, bureaucracy, spirit of capitalism, and Protestant ethics. It's not like you will not write anything about Karl Marx. You will write about Weber, you will understand what he is trying to convey, and you will put the words of other thinkers. There are few people who texted me, sir, please explain the answer writing also. I will also take the answer writing sessions later, but I will tell you one important point about sociology. See, there is no definite framework which is very perfect or which you have to follow perfectly in UPSC. There is a framework where you are writing an answer which is meeting the standards of UPSC. Then what is the standard? Standard means writing what is asked. Writing what is asked. If they are talking about class struggle, we will write first what is class, how it is different from caste, and what is the meaning of struggle. You tell me one, who wants to be poor here? Who wants to be poor? No one. Who wants to be rich? We are already rich. Who wants to be super rich? Everyone. Everyone wants to become super rich. And do we confine our boundaries? No. At least we can be rich in our thoughts, no? I want to buy a Ferrari. You will not buy. But still, I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy a huge bungalow where I can have a Ferrari. I can have like a trophy woman. Trophy woman means woman who is very beautiful, married to rich person and subjected to discrimination, stating that this female married to rich. Irrespective of that woman having a great knowledge, great capability, she is subjected to discrimination in the society. I am expecting this question in this year mains called as trophy woman. Means woman has won everything. It is what society says, but actually not. Sometimes in sociology and also in the GS, they'll pick such words. Article and they'll pick this, they'll apply to your GS, and they'll ask you, the trend of trophy women are increasing in nature. Question mark. Discuss. Migita optional and go trophy woman. Yadira trophy. Okay. So we will take such kind of word. Trans husband, trans woman, trophy woman. Such kind of terms are always in news. Now, stratification and mobility, concepts, theories, dimensions, social mobility. See, I'll not go into the entire syllabus. This is an orientation. Orientation where people again, tomorrow you have another orientation. After a few days again, you'll come back. You'll see me again, same orientation. So, it will go on. Because sociology class number 1, whenever it starts, then we will go into very depth into the syllabus. Then I will explain you what to write, how to write. I'll give you some work. You will work on that. I'll give you a newspaper analysis, work on that. So many things we can do it. But this is the orientation. Let me go in a cream way. Now, what is called as ethnicity? Give examples. 2 females. Continuously navuturu iddaru. Cheppandi. Photo shoot appudu nunchi navuturu iddaru. Nan cameraman laga anukurro endo. What is ethnicity? Cheppuma. What is ethnicity? Who will answer what ethnicity? Origin or culture? Next. What are the examples of ethnicity? Ethnicity, what are the examples? Language, rituals, culture, your tradition, all comes under ethnicity. India is having a diverse ethnicity? Obviously, yes. North, they follow endogamy and exogamy. Endogamy means Endo means what? Marriage system can be endogamy, can be exogamy. You can marry within your same relation, marrying out of the relation. In South, if you could see, there are certain families, cross cousins, they can be married, they are permitted to get married, but in few families in North, it is not considered as a marriage, considered as a sin. So what I see, what you see, perspective is completely different. Next, works and economic life, for example, you could break into it. Works and economic life, where different aspects, how the labor, how the workers. What is the difference between labor and worker? What is the difference between labor and worker? Labor gets daily wages. Okay, good. Worker gets once in a month. Okay, nice. What is the difference between gender and sex? Labor and worker, good. Gender and sex. What is the difference between gender and sex? You are born to your mother as male or female. That's it. You are born to your mother as a male or female. When you get into society, you will continue as a male or female, or transformation from male to female. Transgender. Gender means you are actually a male, but society and the norms of society or your obligations has made you to be female. Transgender. Gender is societal. Sex is biological. You are born to your mother based on the biology, either male or female. Close. No other category the God has given. See, in sociology, and especially people going to interview in sociology, basics, very basics are there. Sir, what is the difference between class and caste? Because they wanted to know in your interview that how much you have a basic knowledge. How much? What is certification? What is mobility? What is race? What is ethnicity? All these things you read in your GS. But they just wanted to test you how much the basic content you have. Politics and society. This is one interesting chapter we have in sociology. You read about politics, you read about sociology, and applying those politics and society different. For example, you have protest, you have agitation, you have movement. What is the difference between protest and agitation? What is protest? Did you participated in any protest? No, never. Very decent. Home straight element. Never protested. What is the difference between protest and agitation? Protest is a protest which is not agitation. Any disagreement or any unhappiness is called as protest. You're not liking it, you'll protest it. Government norm, government rules, it could be anything. It can be considered as a protest. Agitation means what? Hamari mange pure karo. Just enter. Just enter and try to burst everything. Show your complete aggressiveness. This is called as agitation. Even though you don't like food, you can protest at your home also. You don't like any clothing, you can protest. Not talking to anyone is what? That is a psychological protest. How much you request other people don't talk. Only single ticks. No blue color. Next, movement. What's the meaning of movement? Large mass, different categories of people coming forward to show unhappiness is called as a movement. Quit India movement, Khilafat movement, Telangana movement. So there are so many movements. Vidarbha movement, Saurashtra movement, Bodoland issues, Manipur issues. We get to see so many issues across the country, and most of them you get to see in these movements. Okay? Current affairs play a very good role. Movements, tribes, different categories of women movements, child movements. Those things you read in GS, always remember, anything comes in the newspaper, when you read something in the newspaper, if you are picking up the optional sociology, then always remember how can I use this in general studies, in essay, and also in sociology. That's how you have to pick it for. Next, religion and society. Different types of religion we have. People who don't follow religion, what do you call them? Atheist. People respect all religions, we call them secular ideologies. So we have different religions, major, minor. Evolution of religions, how did the religion got evolved over a period of time? Animism. What's animism? Where people believe something which is based on the nature or the spirits. Again, religion, system of kinship, that different families, family types, sexual division of labor, and types of the families, what are the different types of families, etc. Now, why do I have to pick this? What all we have discussed till here, it gets again replicated in the paper 2. That's the reason a candidate who choose sociology as an optional can finish the optional within 4 months, because paper 1 chapters are directly correlated with paper 2 chapters. Both are correlated. For example, politics and society you read here, and politics and society you read in paper 2. Open up paper 2. Open up paper 2 and you just check there. We have a chapter, politics and society. Yes? Now look, now come back. We don't study politics and society of Western separately, Indian separately. I will not be teaching you, neither UPSC wants that. Politics and society, only one chapter, Indian perspective, Western perspective, making use of different thinkers, close. That's it. Religion and society, we have in paper 1. Religion and society, we also have in paper 2. The same religion and society, what we read in the paper 1, the thinkers in paper 1 and paper 2 will club, will unite, and we will study. Next, stratification, works and economic life. This too gets reflected in your paper 2. Next, system of kinship. If you take the topic system of kinship, family, marriage system, everything you have very similar in paper 2. That's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 chapters of paper 1. We will club with the 5 chapters of paper 2. That's the reason why you can finish the optional in 4 to 5 months. And you can take multiple revisions. Next, sociological theories of social change, development and dependency, agents of social change, education and social change, science, technology and social change. This 10th chapter, individually it is reflected again in paper 2 when it is being marked. I will show you there. Next, 3 thinkers, as I told you in paper 2. 3 thinkers in paper 2. Paper 1, how many chapters we have? We have 10. How many thinkers we have? 6. Okay. Next, paper 2, we have 3 thinkers. G.S. Gure, M.N. Srinivas and A.R. Desai. They talk about what? They talk about basically Indology. What is Indology? Indology is nothing but study of India's or Indian society, India's culture, India's ethnicity, India's race and diverse culture. This is called as Indology. Most important, very important. Repeatedly he will ask you the question about M.N. Srinivas. No doubt last year he asked about M.N. Srinivas. This year he can again ask about M.N. Srinivas. Why? Because he hardly has 3 thinkers. He don't have yet 30 thinkers. We have only 3 thinkers. It will not be a surprise to us. Again, if they add continuously 1 or 2 times M.N. Srinivas also. People read that, people go and people submit that. There's nothing going to be added with the current affairs in the thinkers. What at all we have read, go back, write and come back. That's it. Next, social background of Indian nationalism. Now, paper 2. Now, let me tell you about important points about paper 2. Paper 2 is mixture of mixture of little bit of your governance and Indian polity, Indian society, social justice, socio-economic and environment. So if you read about Indian society, you will read about all these things. You will read about environment, you will read about women movement, child rights, tribes, issues faced by the religious and religious minorities, social justice, socio-economic development, planning, Niti Ayog. What all you study for GS, everything gets reflected here. So you don't require a separate preparation for your GS. We'll see here. Social background of Indian nationalism. This is little bit about your history, modern history. What you read in the daily modern history, same thing will be there. What is the contribution of Mahatma Gandhi towards uplifting of the Indian society, or in particular the poor? What were the basic agenda of Babasaheb Ambedkar towards the casteism? Or what are the debate between his favorite question, debate between Mahatma Gandhi and also B.R. Ambedkar. This is most of the time they ask in GS, and we study dead stock questions. Dead stock and give unte gave vastayi. Next, modernization of Indian tradition. Protest and movements. We just studied about protest and movements. The same thing we'll study from the colonial period. From the colonial period means what? Britishers invaded. For what reason Britishers invaded? Britishers invaded basically for trade. We will talk about so many revolts. Mopla, Padma, Mopila, Santal, Bishnois. What all the issues, bills, what all the issues we get to read in the Indian history, the same thing we will read here. Next, agrarian and social structure. This is one very important topic where UPSC will never leave any question. Why? Because it is talking about agriculture. ఒకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, మీరు ఏ చాప్టర్ చదివినా చదవకపోయినా అగ్రికల్చర్ మాత్రం గట్టిగా చదవాలి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, అగ్రికల్చర్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ఎకానమీ, agriculture with respect to the welfareness of the farmers, agriculture in sociology. If your optional is sociology, you cannot ignore agriculture, especially the farmers and their problems and their income is always the favorite question of UPSC. Either they will ask you in prelims, or they will ask you in the GS, or they will ask you in sociology. Ikkadaithe you will never lose a question, and ensure there is a question with respect to agriculture. And next, idea of Indian village, agrarian social structure, evolution of land tenure system and land reforms. Land reforms we have in GS3. Topics, the second topic till land reforms, what you have in GS3. You don't write any thinkers here. A lot of people come back and say thinkers ekku rayala. థింకర్స్ ఎక్కడ అవసరం ఉంటే అక్కడే రాయాలా. నువ్వు మొత్తం థింకర్ రాస్తే నువ్వు థింకర్ అవుతావు. యూ హ్యావ్ నాట్ కమ్ హియర్ టు డూ PhD. యూ యూజ్ లిమిటెడ్ థింకర్. పేపర్ మొత్తం థింకర్ రాసేసినావు అనుకో, కార్ల్ మార్క్స్, వెబర్, మీడ్, సూపర్ అని 2 మార్క్స్ ఇస్తాడు out of 10. What is that you are expected to write? Expect to write the relevant things and also supportive-గా ఒక 2 థింకర్స్ రాయాలి అంతే. 1-2 థింకర్స్ లైక్ కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ one side, or Mead other side, or Weber, or MN Srinivas. You just try to support your and try to add one argument, some other thinkers, and two thinkers clash chestunaru anuko. If you could write, it is quite better. Your entire answer cannot be thinker. 2 pages rayala ma answer, mottam thinkers rase. Where will you write your approach? What are the problems facing? What are the different problems faced by small or marginal farmers? The land itself is fragmented. This was a very important question. They've asked in GS, they've asked in sociology paper too. What are the problems faced by the small and the marginal farmers? What are the problems faced by the small and marginal farmers? Akkada nenu space ishna anlo rayandi okasari. I gave a space in that syllabus. Last page ki ellandi. The last page lo write down this question. What are the problems? What are the problems? అంటే హ్యాండ్ అవుట్ మళ్ళీ ఖాళీగా తీసుకెళ్ళడం ఎందుకు అని చెప్పి విల్ ట్రై టు ఫిల్ ఇట్ అప్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫేస్డ్ బై స్మాల్ అండ్ ద మార్జినల్ ఫార్మర్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా? What are the problems faced by small and the marginal farmers? What are the problems faced by small and the marginal farmers in India? It's okay, మా బ్యాగ్ ను పెన్ను తీసి మరి అంత కష్టపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఇట్స్ ఓకే. ఎవడో ఒకటి రాస్తాడు ఆ గ్రోలో. What are the problems faced by small and marginal farmers in India? So how do you classify farmers? Income? Very good. Based on the land holding. So small and marginal, who holds more land? Who holds more land? Small or marginal? Large and large ఆడుందిరా ఆడ. లార్జే లేదు అందులో, లార్జ్ తీసుకొస్తున్నారు. స్మాల్ అండ్ మార్జినల్, హూ హోల్డ్స్ మోర్ ల్యాండ్? మోర్ ల్యాండ్ ఈస్ బీన్ హెల్డ్ బై స్మాల్. ఫస్ట్ కమ్స్ మార్జినల్, నెక్స్ట్ కమ్స్ స్మాల్, నెక్స్ట్ కమ్స్ సెమీ మీడియం, నెక్స్ట్ మీడియం, నెక్స్ట్ లార్జ్. Whose population is more? Marginal and small. Population will be in lakhs. 90% వీళ్ళే ఉంటారు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 100 farmers are there, 90 farmers వీళ్ళే ఉంటారు. 90 farmers are with respect to the small and marginal. Remaining 10 farmers, they occupy under semi medium, medium or large. Large, there could be 1 or 2 farmers, that's it. Remaining will be medium or semi medium, could be under 8. 90% will be those people. That's why government give a lot of benefits. When they give a lot of benefit, these people are the one who are aspiring more. And what kind of farming they fall into? Subsistence farming. Subsistence farming means I produce, my land is not huge, it is produced, I consume. I produce, I consume for myself. If it is something which is left, I will take to market, I will sell. That's why government gives them more subsidies when compared to others. Now what are the problems faced by them? This was a direct question which was asked in sociology and GS. What are the problems faced by the small and the marginal? Irrigational problems, production problems, productivity problems, investment problems. Even though the government give them, you do not have much landscape to produce more. Income problem. Subsistence itself is a problem. I cannot go for large scale borrowings because even the bank will not afford me to give because my holding capacity is very, very less, low. That's why most of these farmers are in poverty. Sociological aspect. Only sociological aspects are real. Next, perspectives on the case studies. What these thinkers told about the case studies. Untouchability. Here we'll talk about Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Next, second most after agriculture Darbata. Whoever take sociology as an optional, always remember, whenever something in the newspaper, they're talking about agriculture, immediately pick and write down in your class notes because it is always important for your sociology. Second, whenever some tribes comes in news, tribal issues, tribal conflict, anything which comes in news, always remember it is important for your PT. PT means prelims. Or it will be important for your sociology. Tribal issues. Habitual offenders. Habitual offenders. This was in news. They directly asked the question. Habitual offenders. Who are habitual offenders? Repeated offenders. Even after if I say not to do this crime, you are repeating it. At the time of the British, there were certain tribes who were considered as habitual offenders. They are called as what? Notified tribes. Your hierarchy will never be given employment, will never be given any benefits to society. Those tribes recently by government of India has been made as denotified tribe. All this set of the people raise their voice. Our forefathers have done some mistake. Britishers have punished them. Our kids and our generations are been getting troubled and harassed. Wherever we go, people point out that you belong to that particular community in the tribe, you don't have any benefits. If you do anything which happens in the society, these people are called first to the police station. Is it correct? Who has done? You have no idea. They are notified tribes. You have been called to the police station stating that, did you do this offense? Is it correct? Definitely no. So they raised their voice over a period of time. Recently, government has denotified them. Year pakka question వస్తుంది మెయిన్స్ లో ఇది denotified tribes గురించి. Where do you get this? Newspaper. Read about tribes always in the newspaper. GS కు pakka important, especially in your GS paper 3 లో రావచ్చు or in sociology లో రావచ్చు. Next, problems of tribal communities. Bills, Santals. You know about PVTGs, right? Most of them know about PVTGs. What are PVTGs? Particular, vulnerable, tribal groups. Tribal population lo PVTG is one population. Then tribal PVTG, how do you segregate? If tribal are poor, PVTGs are very poor. They don't have the social and economic benefits. They don't have proper education, proper standard of living, drinking water, electricity. They are very remotely assembled. They don't want to assimilate. Assimilate ante వీళ్ళకి ఇష్టం ఉండదు మెయిన్ స్ట్రీమ్ సొసైటీకి రావడానికి because they don't want to leave their nature or culture. So they are always assembled in their own society, in their own habitat. But the standard of living is low. So those set of people who are in extreme poverty, no proper drinking water or basic facility, the government has identified them as what? PVTGs. Particular, vulnerable, tribal groups. All PVTGs are tribes. They're part of tribes only, na? All tribes are PVTGs? No. So if you take entire India, there are 75 PVTGs only recognized. Inka ekku recognize cheyali. But cheyatledu. 75 PVTGs. Example, Kondareddis. Or one example, Shompen tribes, Jaravas. Shompen and Jaravas, they are from which place? Shompen and Jarava, they are from which place? They are PVTGs. They are from Andaman Nicobar. But Jaravas are in news. After independence, first time they came out and started to vote. They were celebrating. First time, Baitikolji, they started to choose their representative. First time they participated in elections. For example, if you take Centennials, you know them? Why? They don't want to integrate with the mainstream society. Centennials, Andaman Nicobar lo, they don't want to integrate with the mainstream society. కానీ మన వాళ్ళు సైలెంట్ ఉంటారా? లేదు. వై డోంట్ యూ ఇంటిగ్రేట్ అని చెప్పి వాళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఇంకా వాళ్ళే తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయారు ఇట్ట. ఇంకా ఏడికి వెళ్ళిరో తెలియదు, ఏడున్నారో కూడా తెలియదు. ఆర్కియలాజికల్, ఆంథ్రపాలజికల్ పిల్లలు వీళ్ళు ఏం చేసారు, యూఎస్ నుంచి రీసెర్చ్ చేయనీకి వచ్చారు. అండ్ ఈ సెంథెనిలీస్ బయటికి రారు. దే వోంట్ కమ్ అవుట్. ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ దే హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ అవుట్, యూ షుడ్ ఆఫర్ దెమ్ కోకోనట్స్. దే లవ్ కోకోనట్స్. ఇప్పుడు తీసుకెళ్ళి కోకోనట్స్ ఇచ్చారు. కోకోనట్స్ కూడా తీసుకుని వీళ్ళని కూడా తీసుకుపోయారు. ఇంకా వీళ్ళు ఏడున్నారో కూడా తెలియదు. ఇంకా అటే పోయేది. ఆ నెంబర్ అయితే మిస్సింగ్. ఇప్పుడు ఆ కేసు తెలిసి ఇంకొక పెద్ద అయినా పోయింది. ఆయన కూడా పట్టుకోయారు. ఇద్దరు యూఎస్ నుండే. ఓకే, చలో. సో agriculture is one topic you should always focus in sociology, and tribal issues, tribal conflicts ఇది మనకి ఎక్కువ వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్. అండ్ ఇందులోంచి ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడిగే ఛాన్సెస్ కూడా చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. దే లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఛాన్సెస్ దట్ పీపుల్ విల్ ఆస్క్ యూ ఇన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ, ట్రైబ్స్ అండ్ అగ్రికల్చర్. నెక్స్ట్, దిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ సింపుల్ టాపిక్స్ హియర్. Social classes, agrarian, industrial and middle. System of kinship in India, if you could take, same thing what we have studied just now earlier in the paper 1, family, lineage. Okay, the same thing which we will be studying here with respect to Indian society. Family definition is common, it will not change. Group of people having a common relation is called a family. What is household then? What is household? Group of people do not have a relation but have a common kitchen. PG, hostel. ఇట్లా చెప్తే అర్థమవుతుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ స్టాండర్డ్ యాజ్ పర్ కాల్ మార్క్స్ అంటే అర్థం కాదు. ఏం చెప్తుండీనా అంటారు. సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ కామన్ రిలేషన్ బట్ నాట్ బ్లడ్లీ రిలేటెడ్, హౌస్ హోల్డ్. టెనెంట్స్, హౌస్ హోల్డ్. నెక్స్ట్, రిలీజన్ అండ్ సొసైటీ, సేమ్ థింగ్ వాట్ ఐ told you earlier, it gets replicated. So ఈ 4 to 5 chapters especially we don't read it exclusive paper 1 and heading పెట్టి 2 క్లబ్ చేసి చెప్తాను. థింకర్స్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ సిమిలర్ ఉంటారు. అండ్ కొంతవరకు రిపోర్ట్స్, సెన్సస్ we will add and we'll close. Next, social changes. Now this is completely GS ఇంకా. మొత్తం జిఎస్ఏ ఉంటుంది. Social changes in India, vision of social change. First one, idea of development planning and mixed economy. In the last time he has asked the question about replacement of planning commission with Niti Ayog. What is Niti full form? National Institution for Transforming India. It has replaced what? Planning commission. So what are the implications? What are the benefits of replacing? Such kind of questions were asked. Next, constitution law on social change. This is also reflected in your social justice and Indian society part. Education and social change kuda similar way. Next, again with respect to agriculture chapters 3 chapters untai. So in sociology, family heading lo I'll cover 2 chapters. Marriage related lo 2 chapters. Religion lo 2 chapters. Agriculture lo 3 chapters. So all topics under agriculture will be taught in 10 days or 15 days together, so that it get reflected in the paper 1 and paper 2, and we'll add thinkers. That is how we cover sociology. అందుకే 4-5 months లో ఈజీ అవుతుంది. రూరల్ అండ్ అగ్రేరియన్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ లో రూరల్ డెవలప్మెంట్, గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్ అండ్ సోషల్ చేంజ్, మోడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ ఇన్ ఇండియన్ అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆఫ్ లేబర్. మోడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ మోడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్? అర్లియర్ we used to use bullock carts, okay, and we don't use now. We use drones, we use tractors, we use heavy machinery goods, etc. Modes of production means production which you are making, how it is getting transforming from phase to phase. Now we are getting up with micro irrigation also. So earlier we don't have all these techniques. Drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, pivot irrigation. We don't have earlier. Now we have all this kind of techniques. Next, green revolution. One important topic, you get it in GS also. Okay, and also here, see what I suggest, class అయిపోయిన తర్వాత, those people who seriously want to take sociology, put this syllabus with you, take your GS syllabus, check how many topics ఇనేదో వచ్చింది చెప్పినాం కాదు. You have to check what are the topics which are getting collided with your GS, and also take the past 5 years of essay and take your paper to sociology, and how many essays are getting reflected. Smart గా వర్క్ చేయాలి. You cannot sail in different boats at a time. Be very smart, be very wise, take your own decision, sit how 10% of my work is going to reflect 100%. గివ్ చేయాలి. అంతేగాని ఇది చదువుతా అది కూడా తీసుకుంటా అంటే పిహెచ్డి డిగ్రీ ఇస్తారు, కానీ మెయిన్స్ అనేది ఎప్పుడు అలానే ఉండిపోతుంది. ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు క్లియర్. వాట్ ఈస్ గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్? వాట్ ఈస్ రెవల్యూషన్? రెవల్యూషన్ అంటే ఏంది? Change, very good. Change, development. Okay, green revolution is with respect to agriculture. Again, this topic we will study. See, earlier I have shown you this topic of rural and agrarian social structure, right? So this topic will be linked to this topic. So paper 2 link chesi chavutar, which means programs of rural development, CDP, green revolution, change and modes of Indian agriculture, rural labor issues. So all rural society and agriculture society we will try to link, and we will try to cover this area. Now green revolution took place in which areas? Green revolution, what are the important aspects? See, if you want to perform green revolution, what are the prerequisite things? Then what should be there? Most important is water. No water, no green revolution. Second, high yield variety seeds. Okay, high yield variety seeds and lot of pesticides, chemicals, etc. This you require. And most important required is high yield varieties and water. Do you have perennial river system across country? No. Few areas you have perennial. That's why we targeted Punjab, Haryana, river Sutlej, Western UP, river Kaveri, Krishna Godavari. This is the areas where we targeted in green revolution. You don't have any thinkers there. Thinkers, where you have to use thinkers in sociology, నువ్వు అక్కడే వాడాల. గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్లో తీసుకొచ్చి నేను థింకర్స్ వాడతా అంటే ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్. ఇక ఆయనకు తెలిసిందో లేదో, నువ్వు తీసుకొని వచ్చి ఏదో ఒక రాస్తే నేనే చదవలే వీడి నుంచి పట్టుకొచ్చిండు అనుకుంటాడు. సో కొన్ని ఏరియాస్లో వీ క్యాన్ యూస్ థింకర్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, సరే గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్ में should I not write any thinkers? Not those regular thinkers, but you can write about Mahatma Gandhi. He himself is a thinker, right? Baba Sahib Ambedkar, the great thinker. You write about them. You write about these people and quote in your answers in your paper 2. That's quite enough. Next. Visions of social change, the same thing in what your paper 1. Take your paper 1. Paper 1 last chapter. Paper 1 last chapter. This is paper 2 section C. This. Look it on the board. Let it be on board. Let it be on board. And look at this. Idea of development is one option. Constitutional law on social change, education and social change. It get reflected? Yes. So this chapter, again we will study with the paper 1. So here paper 2 and the topics of paper 2 will be clubbed. Paper 1 and topics of paper 1 and 2 will be clubbed. That's why I can openly say now it is one of the simplest optional. Next, rural and agrarian transformation. This is what we have discussed already. Now, politics and society, ఇది already చెప్పాను ఇందాక పేపర్ 1లో, మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ అవుతుంది పేపర్ 2లో. Social movements in modern India, peasants and farmer, women movement, backward class and Dalit movement, environmental movements, ethnicity and identity movement. So farmers issue. So that this topic of peasants and farmers, నేను అగ్రికల్చర్లో క్లబ్ చేసి చెప్తాను. Farmers issue. Farmers issue, farmers protest. You get to see different types of protest in the last 5 to 6 years. Farmers protest 1.0, farmers protest 2.0. Recently farmers were protesting in Delhi. Okay, what was the major reason? To increase the MSP. To increase the MSP. What is MSP? Minimum support price, where the farmers can get some income. This is the theme why they were protesting. So I will go very depth when we actually take the classes. That will be very useful for your prelims and also for your other papers. But as of now, there are other set of people also. So what is that farmers movement? Right from independence. Right from the independence, Indigo Revolt. You would have studied Indigo Revolt. There's a book on it. Indigo Revolution. There's a book on it. Who wrote that? Deenabandhu Mitra. Neel Darpan. This is the book. Okay, me GS start అయితే మీరు చదువుతారు ఇవన్నీ. It's not new. Next, women's movement, backward classes and Dalit movement and environmental movements. We can expect a question. Environmental movement. World complete environmental movements గురించి చదవాలి. For example, few case studies. Case studies are very important. Like Hakipiki tribes. You know Hakipiki tribes? Hakipiki tribes. Karnataka. What the significance? Bird catchers. Karnataka, the significant bird catchers. ఇప్పుడు న్యూస్లో ఎందుకు ఉన్నారు? సుడాన్లో దిస్ a crisis going on. Sudanలో there is internal conflict going on. Our people who have an origin in Sudan, government has performed an operation to uplift them from Sudan back to Karnataka. That's why they were in news. So prelims is very important itlantivi. So here environmental movements, those set of the people. Recently Rahul Gandhi has been to Andaman Nicobar. He made a reel that these people are going to face some issue because they are raising some infrastructure. Chompen tribes gurinchi he spoke. They will be displaced in case if you try to make some infrastructure project there. మా సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ గైడ్ లైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, డోంట్ డిస్టర్బ్ దోస్ ట్రైబ్స్ అని. మళ్ళీ వెళ్ళి అక్కడే ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కట్టాలంటే దే విల్ నాట్ బీ హ్యాపీ అండ్ దే విల్ నాట్ అలౌ. యూఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ స్పాయిలింగ్ ద హ్యాబిటాట్. Ethnicity and different identity movements are there. This is also one. Next, very important topic which is GS lo undi meeki, population dynamics. Okay, so population dynamics, here you will study about the census, population growth, population policy, family planning and emerging issues, infant mortality, child sex ratios, aging, etc. So these things which are quite common, inlo thinkers levu paadlevu, డైరెక్ట్గా రాయాలి అంతే. ఇక థింకర్స్ రాస్తాను నేను అంటే ఇక నేను ఏం చేయలేదు, నా దగ్గర అయితే లేవు థింకర్స్. ఇందులో పాపులేషన్ సెన్సస్లో ఇందులో థింకర్స్ రాయాలి, నోట్స్ రెగ్యులర్గా ఇస్తా, రాసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ పొరగాలు పట్టుకొస్తారు. సో ఇందులో థింకర్స్ చెప్పలేదు అంటాడు. యాడ రాయాలి థింకర్స్? నేను అనలేదు. థింకర్స్ ఏముండవు. థింకర్స్ దే ఆర్ ఫ్యూ ఏరియాస్ వేర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అప్లై థింకర్స్. యూ షుడ్ అప్లై థింకర్స్ అండ్ యూ షుడ్ లీవ్. Other areas you have very general perspective. What are the problems faced by the Indian society with respect to growing population? Population is growing, or migration, or urbanization. What are the problems faced due to such issues? You will write general perspective. Which is the most populous country? India. Second most populous? China. Which is the country who's having, in fact, the median age is very low? Median age. Whose age group is very high? Median age ante endamma? Median age ante ee classroom తీసుకోండి. Hardly 21, 22 ఉంటారు కదా. 21, 22, 23 ఉంటారు. So median age నా వల్ల median age పెరిగే ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది. So I'll exit. So we'll take your own median age. If you put it your median age, so 21, 22 will be the average median age. Almost 22 ఉంటుంది అనుకోండి median age. India is having one of the youngest median age. 29 years ఉంటుంది. Globally, India is having youngest median age. Japan is having the highest median age. 44, 45, 47. The age factor is very, very high. Longest living person recently died in అనగానే వేరే కంట్రీ చదవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. జపాన్ అని ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. So median age is in Japan is also quite high. Why? Health factors. Health factors are very great and government spends more on the health factors. Ivanni it looks directly, but koncham innovative ga we have to write our answers. And the last chapter, challenges of social transformation, crisis of development, poverty, deprivation, inequality. 3 times adigaru last 6 years lo ee question. Poverty, different types of poverty. Multidimensional poverty class lo cheppanu, adi prelims lo monna adigindu. Directly multidimensional poverty index which we have discussed in the classroom in sociology, that was asked in your prelims. So poverty, different types of poverty. What are the different types of poverty you have? Absolute and relative. What is relative poverty? Poverty which is with comparison, not comparison. Next, violence against women. Comma, syllabus update చేయాలని అడిగితే, but it's okay. As of now, we'll compromise and we'll read violence against women. Is it only women are getting violence? You accept both, right? It's okay. As per syllabus, violence against women. It is given, we will read. Next, caste conflicts, same topic, ethnic, literacy and education disparities. So most things get correlated. So people, whoever takes sociology as optional, I just wanted to give a rough idea. First important is, you should have a good hold on thinkers. Thinkers etla చదవాలంటే, whatever they, we have very less thinkers, 9, that's it. Paper 2 లో 3, paper 1 లో 6, that's it, close. నువ్వు ఎట్లా చదవాలంటే paper 1, paper 2 thinkers, let them ask any question. You should be in a position to write them and also use those thinkers in other topics. That is how you should read. That's why I teach thinkers like a story, and for a long term, like around 1 month, I'll be teaching paper 1 and paper 2 thinkers only. Why? Because if you have a great advantage of thinkers, you can write sociology very, very well. They'll test how are you applying thinkers. And thinkers కూడా historical thinkers, they have not added more kabatti it is very easy. Those people still who delay to join optional, I don't start with chapter number 4 which is thinkers. Chapter number 1 I will start always. I will go little bit slow because there are lot of students who will be in dilemma to choose which optional is right, and over a period of time they'll keep coming, they keep joining. In such a case, whichever optional you join for sociology, you join before thinkers, it could be better. Chapter number 4 when I start, it could be better you are available in the class before starting chapter number 4. First chapter మళ్ళీ కూర్చోబెట్టి చెప్పమంటే నేను చెప్తా. థింకర్స్ మళ్ళీ చెప్పమంటే ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్. 1 month క్లాస్ చెప్పాలంటే ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఈజీ. అండ్ ఆ ఫ్లో వాట్ ఐ టీచ్ ఇన్ ఎ క్రౌడ్, giving an examples, giving his childhood example, easily get reflected to lot of people who can easily quote them. Will books. Why to have to use those books? Present case studies, link to Karl Marx. A new baby is born, entire family is happy, but Karl Marx says one labor is born unted. A new labor is born, so I should celebrate first unted. So you should read in these direction. This person called a G.H. Mead, George Herbert Mead. He says one good theme. When people look in the mirror, why do you look in mirror? Why do you look in mirror? To see how good we are. But G.H. Mead says it is not that way. You're looking how society looks at you. You're looking how society looks at you. You'll try to adjust. Because society may not like you. So such keyword things and the thoughts given by the thinkers, mostly you should adopt it as early as possible in the thinkers class. Books, reference books, tradition చెప్పాలి కాబట్టి చెప్తున్నా. ఒక్క బుక్ కూడా కొనకండి. Why? Because నోట్స్ ఇస్తా, నోట్స్ చదవండి జాలీగా. 2 volumes అయితే పేపర్ 1 పేపర్ 2 క్లాస్ నోట్స్, ఇక గవే చదవండి. ఎగ్జామ్లో పెడతా క్లాస్లో, రెగ్యులర్గా రాస్తూనే ఉండండి. 500 మార్క్స్, అట్లీస్ట్ 275 to 280 షుడ్ బి అవర్ టార్గెట్. పేపర్ 2 massively కొట్టేయాలి. పేపర్ 2 massively you have to get it somewhere around, if you could try to get it 140 or 155. That's how people are scoring. If you could get it, you will get 280. We are not saying that you will get 400. We are not saying that you will get easily 300. It's not easy to get, but practically 270, 280 is possible with your sufficient hard work and revision. Only thing what you have to do in sociology is optional is continuous revision. 2 to 3 times you have to revise your class notes. Be ready. Books, for example, if you want to buy some books, as I told you earlier, so if you want to buy some books and if you want to ensure that you have little bit knowledge, then please read this book of Indian Society, Social Change and Development in India. Okay, next. These 2 books, one orange wala and one blue color. Orange wala is very less of price and blue color is very costly of price. Rundu betna. This and this, whichever you wanted to buy, don't buy. Don't buy any book. Just for a reference I am giving, but most things I have to give you because it's my duty. You paid no, they paid no. I have to give you no. So 2 volumes, read that. Don't put your extra efforts and unnecessary waste of your money. Put it for yourself and eat some good food. Enjoy. That's enough. Inlo e-book gonandi. Social Change in Modern India, if you wanted to buy. NCRTs you can buy. And Social Change in Modern India. Why I am asking you not to buy the books? Because most books and their crisp content I have already taken. నువ్వు క్లాస్ నోట్ తీసుకుంటే ఏ బుక్ అన్నా తెచ్చుకో, అందులో రిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఐ హ్యావ్ పిక్డ్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ అగైన్ ఇట్స్ ఏ రిపీటెడ్ టాస్క్. డోంట్ డూ ఇట్. టేక్ ఎన్సీఆర్టీ. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ టేక్ ఎన్సీఆర్టీ, ఆ ఎన్సీఆర్టీ చదువుకో. దట్ కుడ్ బి బెటర్. ఇన్ కేస్ కొనాలన్నప్పుడు దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ గుడ్ బుక్. ఎంఎన్ శ్రీనివాస్, హిస్ ట్రిప్ టు కర్ణాటక, అ ప్లేస్ కాల్డ్ రాంపురా ఇన్ కూర్గ్. రాంపురా విలేజ్, కూర్గ్. He found people, their culture as unique, and he wrote Sanskritization topic. So this is very good book. It's like a novel. You can easily read and cover. In case if you want to buy, the first 2 NCRTs you can buy, and you can buy this book in case I'm saying. And this is like already I related. What are the topics which are related? Paper 1 and paper 2. Again in paper 1 and paper 2 these are related. Again paper 1 and paper 2 these topics are related. And in GS, this is GS1 syllabus. GS1 syllabus, the same thing we already have. Poverty, women related problems, regionalism, etc. We have in sociology paper 2. The same thing which comes in Indian society GS 1. Generally 30 marks అడిగేవాడు స్టార్టింగ్లో. Now they have been asking for 50-60 marks అడుగుతున్నాడు. So he will ask you at any context. Second paper, social justice, what we get to see in again paper 1 and paper 2. Third, GS, social economic terms, agriculture system, inclusive growth, development, land reforms, I told you, planning, green revolution, everything comes in this particular chapter. And very important, ethics. Very important, ethics. Ethics, what we study in sociology, and quotes, especially quotes given by Karl Marx, especially in society or any part where we study in paper 1 Karl Marx, first point. And second, most important, Emile Durkheim, A.R. Desai, M.N. Srinivas. ఇది డైరెక్ట్గా వెళ్ళి నువ్వు ఎథిక్స్లో రాసుకో. They will talk about moral values. They will talk about ethical culture conflicts. These thinkers talks about same thing. Replace. నువ్వు ఏం వాడతావో ఇక్కడ తీసుకెళ్ళి అందులో పెట్టుకో. These benefits I have told you. Chalo, done. So these things which will be as part of your paper 1 and paper 2. All right. So next coming sessions, there are so many sessions I'll be taking. Newspaper, current affairs, there are so many programs also I do conduct here. And I conduct 180 days of test series for sociology. Most of the people have joined of earlier batches. 80 days of test series for sociology I conducted. Mentorship I conducted. Prelims, Conquer Prelims I conducted it. Recently the Conquer Prelims we have conducted. We are very happy that even though the paper is quite tough, there are 16 which are like direct. It's not like even if it is indirect we have picked. Those are direct questions. You can check from the institute's telegram channel which we have posted, that actually gave students around 30 marks to 32 marks. I know the prelims paper was little bit tough and few questions were very weird to answer, but that's the process kabatti. You have to study and you have to read and you have to come out from those prelims. Ade question paper lo they will pick 10,000. Now earlier it was tough, over a period of time it will become common again. So next year also be prepared. Okay, same lines the paper may come, so be prepared. Prelims is becoming very very tough. Okay, and especially CSAT. All right, so how many of you have done engineering here, not knowing why we are doing engineering? Okay, all. So we all into one. Okay, how many are from mechanical? Okay, only one female. Okay, good. Chalo, done. How many have worked? అయిపోయింది సోషాలజీ ఓరియంటేషన్. ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ ఏమైనా పెడతాడా అని ఏం లేదు, అయిపోయింది మొత్తం, డన్, ఆల్ డన్. సో 1 or 2 questions then we will leave. So how many of you have worked? Where did you work? Sutherland. Great. Where? Hyderabad. Okay, chalo. Anyone there? Yes. H? Oh, good. Nice. Okay, people don't want to say also. Okay, fine. Me, I worked in Microsoft earlier and been to few countries, again came back, gave engineering services, UPSC, sociology as my optional, again teaching at AKS. Okay, this is one profile. Good. How many already gave any attempt? One attempt, already gave attempt. Okay, good. This year, how was the paper? You did not understand. Tough, very tough. Yes, how was the paper? Okay, fine, chalo. How many are planning to give next year? Good. Next year రాయండి. Okay, next year రాయండి. So this is which month? June. Almost you have 1 year sufficient. You can write. Make sure that అక్టోబర్ నవంబర్లో ఏదైనా ఆప్షనల్ తీసుకోండి. అక్టోబర్ నవంబర్లో ఆప్షనల్ అయిపోయేలాగా చూడండి అమ్మా. అక్టోబర్ నవంబర్లో ఆప్షనల్ అయిపోయేలాగా చూడండి. మా సిన్సియర్ అడ్వైస్, నవంబర్ నుండి డోంట్ బీ బ్యాక్ ఆఫ్ ఆప్షనల్. నవంబర్ నుండి ఓన్లీ ప్రిలిమ్స్ అండ్ ప్రిలిమ్స్. 6 months ప్రిలిమ్స్ అయితే యూ హ్యావ్ టు రీడ్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ for 6 months. Prelims is becoming very tough. Clearing prelims has become very very tough, and How many people are even trying to clear the GS? They are trying to they're getting stuck in the C side. So make sure that you balance these things and ensure that your people are very young. You people came forward, you have joined, and it's your duty to follow the proper practice of UPSC and have a well disciplined. That's it. And 10 hours or 8 hours, whichever how you will define your classes and your preparation and your optional. Okay. And optional A rows R rows jawte inka better. For example, if you're starting about introduction of society in Europe. So in European societies, I will give you content. You will write. We will discuss the previous questions. You will get a good hold. I will give you 2 questions. You will go back home, read, close your books, write answers, come back and submit. This is the traditional practice my students will follow. And you will also follow, or I'll make you follow. You will follow definitely. One by one person writes, the second person writes. The third person writes. The entire 50, 60, 70, 80 members used to write. And they used to come back. Very dedication. Very dedication. So, optional aithe 100% discipline bettandi. Daily keep writing answer. Every day I'll give you one answer. You'll go back home, you'll write, you'll read, and you'll come back and you'll submit. A chapter అయిపోయాక I'll put a test. Almost 1 or 2 chapters I'll put a test. 1 or 2 thinkers I'll put a test. That is how we have done for the previous batches. For this batches also I'm going to do the same. Alright. So any questions? What is your name and adutara? Yeah. Few topics I told you, like agriculture, tribes, population, census oste. Remaining case studies anni I will give it to you. Updation case studies, for example, women movements, child movements, atrocities, konni Supreme Court cases ఏదైనా ఉంటే I will try to add. అంతే. అప్డేషన్ అనేది ఏముండదమ్మా, ఒక 80-90% అయితే ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ మొత్తం పేపర్ 1 పేపర్ 2 ఆర్ రిలేటెడ్, పేపర్ 2లోనే మళ్ళీ రిలేటెడ్. ఓకే. అండ్ ఫ్యూ ఏరియాస్ వేర్ యూ రిక్వైర్డ్ ద కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ అది నేను మీకు ఇస్తాను. దట్స్ మై జాబ్ టు అప్డేట్ అండ్ ఐ విల్ గివ్ ఇట్ టు యూ. దట్స్ ఇట్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏదన్నా అడగండి, ఇంకా ఇబ్బంది లేదు. ఏమన్నా సోషాలజీ, ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేసి క్రికెట్ ఆడితే ఓకేనా? ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేసి సోషాలజీ చెప్తేనే పిల్లలకి ఇబ్బంది అవుతుంది. అందరికీ పిల్లలు అందరూ అడుగుతారు ఇంజనీరింగ్ అండ్ ఎకానమీ హౌరే అంటారు. ఇంజనీర్ కెన్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఇంజనీరింగ్. ఇంజనీర్ క్యాన్ డూ, వాట్స్ ద డెఫినేషన్? ఇంజనీర్ క్యాన్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ కథం. సో ఐ వర్క్డ్ ఇన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్, మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్, మెకానికల్, దేర్ coding, mechanical coding. I was in Spain for 1-2 years, Netherlands, code, came back, engineering services, sociology optional. కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ నేను చెప్పేది విను, నువ్వు కార్ల్ మార్క్స్ విను, నువ్వు ఏ బుక్ పట్టుకో, అట్లా చెప్తా, అట్లా థీమాటిక్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ డ్రా చేపిస్తా, అప్పుడు అర్థమవుతుంది. అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ వచ్చి అడుగుతావు నిజంగానే ఇంజనీరింగ్ చేసిర్రా అని అడుగుతావు. నిజంగానే చేసినావు ఇంజనీరింగ్, కానీ ఏం చేసినానో నాకే తెలియదు, గుర్తు కూడా లేవు అది ఇంజనీరింగ్. ఓకే, డన్. ఎనీథింగ్, ఇట్లాంటి టఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగద్దు, టఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగి హట్టింగ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగద్దు. ఏం చేసిర్రు, సోషాలజీ ఎట్లా చదువుకుర్రు, మీకు ఎకానమీ ఇంత బాగొచ్చు, ఇవన్నీ అడగద్దు. ఓకే, ఏం అడగాలంటే సోషాలజీ, కార్ల్ మార్క్స్, ఇట్లాంటి సింపుల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగాలి. చలో, వాట్ డిడ్ యూ డూ? గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాదు. వాట్ డిడ్ యూ డూ? ఫ్రమ్ విచ్ ప్లేస్? వరంగల్. ఓకే, చలో. వాట్స్ యువర్ నేమ్? సంతోష్. సోషాలజీ అదర్ ఆప్షన్? సోషాలజీ ఖతం ఇక దా ఇక. చలో, వీ గోట్ వన్ అండ్ దట్ టూ. ఎనీవేస్, చలో, డన్. ఎనీ అదర్ క్వశ్చన్ మా? ఇంకేదైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? నథింగ్, డన్. ఆన్లైన్లో ఏమైనా అడిగిర్రా? సరే, క్లోజ్ చేయండి. చలో, ఓకే, take care, and we'll meet again. I'll be taking so many sessions in your GS. I'll be taking so many sessions for your mains also, and for optional also, whenever they'll start, or one more orientation will be there probably. Then we'll meet again. All right, thank you so much.